Once upon a time, there was a kind-hearted woman who was 71 years old. She performed a small act of kindness that sparked a series of incredible events. It all began when two strangers met on a busy city subway. Little did they know that their brief conversation would shape the course of their lives. As they moved forward, unexpected surprises emerged, leaving us pondering the mysteries of life. But be cautious, my friends, because things may not always be as they appear. Troubling challenges loomed ahead, threatening to disturb their newfound joy. The burden of their past actions haunted them, creating a feeling of impending doom. Can they overcome the obstacles that life throws their way? Will their bond prove strong enough to withstand the relentless trials that lie ahead? Or will their world crumble beneath the weight of uncertainty? Sienna Thompson, a worker at a meatpacking plant, selflessly gave her last bit of change to a hungry street child. 12 years later, when Sienna was going through a difficult time, a millionaire unexpectedly showed up at her door, bringing attention to her past act of kindness. Every day after her shift in the Chicago slaughterhouse, Sienna hurriedly made her way to catch the subway home. Exhausted from her demanding job, she sometimes fell asleep during the ride. On this particular day, she had worked hard to move a large amount of meat. Sienna's co-workers, who also lived in her neighborhood, usually woke her up before her stop, but she found herself alone in the subway car. Fearing she might oversleep and end up far from her destination, Sienna's worries proved futile as she dozed off on the subway. Sienna woke up when a stranger kindly informed her it was time to get off the train. Curious, she asked him how he knew her stop. They got off together, and he introduced himself as Howard. They discovered they had common interests, worked nearby, and even knew some of the same people. Sienna wondered why they hadn't met before, and Howard admitted he had noticed her on the subway. They agreed to meet again and soon developed a strong connection. They started hanging out, got engaged, and had a beautiful wedding. Howard provided support despite Sienna's demanding job. They were overjoyed when they found out Sienna was pregnant. When their baby girl, Ashley, was born, Howard postponed his vacation to be with his family. However, Howard began experiencing headaches and chest pains that persisted even after a vacation. Sienna urged him to see a doctor, but Howard dismissed it as stress or diet-related. He tried to alleviate the pain with light runs, but it would return unexpectedly. Concerned, Sienna insisted he seek medical attention. 2 weeks later, Howard collapsed at home in intense pain. Sienna called an ambulance and Howard was rushed to the hospital. The doctors informed Sienna that Howard was experiencing a heart attack in its early stages and needed close monitoring. Howard's blood pressure was unstable and he remained unconscious. Several hours passed without any improvement. Sienna comforted their daughter Ashley and assured her that Daddy would come back soon. Sienna suggested they go to the park for ice cream to distract Ashley from the situation. Sienna held on to hope, believing that Howard, being young and healthy, would recover and that the doctors would identify the cause of his pain. Suddenly, there was a medical emergency at the hospital, causing panic among the staff attending to Howard. Sienna anxiously waited for the news, her heart racing. Finally, the doctor approached her with devastating news. Despite their efforts, Howard had suffered a second, more severe heart attack and passed away. Overwhelmed with grief, Sienna embraced Ashley, struggling to find the right words to explain what had happened. They both cried, their emotions intertwined. Although her world had been shattered by Howard's untimely death, Sienna found the strength to carry on. Sienna and Ashley deeply missed Howard, but Sienna knew she had to be strong and handle everything alone. To fulfill her responsibilities, she started working longer hours at the refrigeration plant. Her co-workers admired her determination and resilience. Sienna was committed to providing for her daughter and ensuring her needs were met. However, the additional work left her exhausted and limited the time she could spend with Ashley. The rewards of the extra hours felt insufficient, especially considering the impact on their precious quality time together. Sienna hoped for a raise or promotion, but none had come her way yet. One morning, while heading to the subway for work, Sienna accidentally bumped into a frail, pale girl who seemed ill and scared. The girl confessed that she hadn't eaten since the previous day and asked for some spare change. Concerned, Sienna looked for the girl's parents but found her alone. Sienna found the girl's predicament to be moving and couldn't help but think of her own daughter in a similar situation. Selflessly, she gave the girl $50 and 2 sandwiches she had packed for herself. Sienna was willing to go hungry that day, knowing she could eat at home later. But the child had nothing. Grateful, the young girl thanked Sienna and promised to repay her someday before leaving the subway. Despite her own hunger, Sienna persevered through her workday. Sienna, despite being hungry and tired, chose to give all her money to a child she met on the subway. She had very little change left and couldn't buy herself a snack. But she didn't regret her selfless act and spent the day hoping the girl, Fanny, was doing well. Fanny came from a troubled home with parents struggling with addiction and neglecting her. However, Fanny had dreams of a better future. Years later, Sienna had been promoted twice at work and had more money. Her daughter Ashley enjoyed roller skating with friends in the neighborhood. One day, Ashley had a bad fall and was taken to the hospital. Sienna rushed there in distress and learned that Ashley's spinal injury might affect her ability to walk. The doctor explained that expensive specialized surgeries could help Ashley walk again, but Sienna couldn't afford them. Ashley stayed in the hospital for a month before being discharged. Ashley had to use a wheelchair due to her physical disability, which put a strain on Sienna's finances. Sienna worked hard to save money, but it took several years to pay off the hospital bills and provide basic care for Ashley. Sienna noticed her daughter's sadness and decided to start an online fundraising campaign for Ashley's corrective surgery. Despite gaining attention on social media, the donations fell short of what was needed. Sienna felt hopeless and mourned the missed opportunities for her daughter's future. However, a twist of fate changed everything. On August 15, 2019, a well-dressed and kind woman visited Sienna's home. It turned out to be Fanny, the same girl Sienna had helped years ago. Fanny had become a successful business owner and wanted to express her gratitude. She handed Sienna $50, which reminded Sienna of their past encounter. Sienna welcomed Fanny inside and Ashley in her wheelchair entered the room. Fanny shared her own journey of overcoming hardship and admired Ashley's strength. She recognized Sienna from the fundraising campaign and wanted to support her. Sienna was grateful for Fanny's offer, but she mentioned the high cost of surgery, around $250,000, and the possibility of needing more donations in the future. "I apologize if my previous message was unclear," Fanny said as she held Sienna's hands. "You won't require any further donations." Sienna was momentarily stunned before tears of joy overcame her. Her daughter had been in a wheelchair for an extended period, causing her to forget the simple pleasure of walking and running. However, the young woman before them had the means and desire to help. Ashley processed the information silently, questioning if this generous stranger truly possessed such resources. Fanny spent the day with them, offering support, lending an ear to their stories, and ensuring that both mother and daughter maintained hope. After a few weeks, Fanny stepped in and covered all of Ashley's tests and treatments. The surgery in Chicago went well, and the media closely followed Ashley's recovery. Despite the challenging and painful physical therapy, it played a crucial role in helping Ashley regain mobility. Finally, after years in a wheelchair, Ashley took her first unassisted steps, though she still needed some assistance. Sienna, overwhelmed with emotion, held Fanny's hands, tears of disbelief and joy streaming down her face. Sienna exclaimed, "It's a miracle!" her heart filled with delight. Ashley walked without help, surprising everyone considering her prolonged reliance on a wheelchair. It was only a matter of time before she could walk independently. Sienna never expected that a small act from the past could bring her daughter's life back to normal.